It's Friday. KJ is having her coffee and looking forward to a weekend. I can't wait to get started on a project tomorrow. Maybe I could share it with y'all. I know it's so exciting, isn't it? Have you ever heard of a floating deck? We're going to be making a floating deck out here in the yard sometime this weekend. All the materials were dropped off yesterday. So, regardless, I do want to get with all of y'all. I put on the community wall last night this question about, what this hussy did in her 50 years of life, and any advice that anybody might want to give to the old huss now that she's 50. Now, let me just back up. She's younger than me. I'm 52, and I know there's several of you on here that's older than the hussy. But I think her age 50 is going to hit her hard, y'all. I have this really strong feeling that she is going to know exactly what incarceration does to the aging process. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Cutter Maji and Olive Heatley and Edie Ruth and Just Me. Anybody have it? Oh, it's afternoon for you, isn't it, Olive? Just Me says, good morning, Rays. Stephanie Willow, good morning. Yeah, I kind of took a break this week, y'all. I had that dang summer cold crap going, and I needed to rest up a little bit and just kind of take it easy, Good morning, Ann Gibson and Grammy B and the good Lori. Yeah, I couldn't help but smile at some of the answers on the community wall. Some of the things that were said on there were so dang funny. I was like, leave it to them to put a smile on my face. Just me, and during the weekdays, we can't be on the boat because Wayne's off. He's never home. He works. I just took some time off, Yeah, Cutter. That me and Bobby McGee. Hi, Sandra Jackson. We've only been out on the boat one time, y'all, and y'all were there. You got to understand something. It's been a real busy season for building and stuff, and just getting Wayne away to go buy a boat, much less go out on one. Yeah, Olive. I didn't really think about it until later on in the week when I was putting some the paperwork away that I had, and it said on there, I had the timeline of events and all this stuff and everything, and then I looked on there and I was like, wait a minute, and I looked and I said, her birthday was on Monday, and she turned 50. And I thought, well, I should have got with the Rays on that, because I had a lot I wanted to say about it. The fact that she has, look what she has given the world. Look what she's given the world in 50 years of her life. I forgot which one it was, but one of you said, what a legacy. I mean, sarcasm is just overflowing on that one. Hi, Kathy Mama Bear. She can't spend money on her face or anything else anymore, says Grammy B. Oh, well, Kathy Mama Bear, your dog is a lot more loved than that woman. That damn woman. Hi, Susan Honecker. Oh, yeah, Cutter. The willow tree and Pocahontas. I'm sure she's going to get used to the routines and She's going to figure out ways. She already figured out how to get her hair, to get the ringlets. She knows all she has to do is braid them up and look like Holly Hobby or whatever, Laura Ingalls. She's probably already got her secrets of how to keep herself looking good. Well, I want to know who she's looking good for, or at least trying to look good for, huh? Prison is going to be Lori's hell on earth. I can assure you of that. Ann Gibson, I hope, Lori, she's liable to live a very long life, y'all. But I want to say this, it's not looking good for all the different aspects of a woman turning 50 and the effects of incarceration and what it does. Gosh, look at me, y'all. I'm still half asleep. Oh, thank you, Kathy Mama Bear. We had a good time. I really enjoyed that. I loved doing that for Mary and Rick. And I messed up in one of the areas, calling him Richie instead of Ricky. But she calls him Richie sometimes, like it's his nickname. And I should have just stuck to the formal names, but it was an informal wedding. And that's the way they wanted it. I did it exactly the way Mary and Rick wanted it. So they were happy and I was happy. It was a joyous day. And I was very thankful that we had some beautiful Rays who had prayed for their marriage and congratulated their marriage and all of that. Back to this floating deck. I'm going to be doing a floating deck. It's on the ground, right? It's not up off the ground. And it's going to go around 2 trees. And I'm going to share that with y'all if any of y'all, some of y'all are interested in stuff like that. But we're going to get started on that on Saturday. And it's going to be in the area where they got married. So, yeah, just me. It's under 2 of these trees that the limbs hang down. And it's nice, and it's like a natural shaded area in the yard. And with that being said, because it is a shaded area, the ground, we've tried all kinds of grass seed, ground cover, everything to cover up. It's just bare right in that area. So we said, let's put a deck around it, because the rest of the yard looks really good. Well, thank you, Grammy B. I appreciate that. That's very kind of all of y'all to be so sweet about that. I did a lot of praying about it for sure. She's still committed to Chad, and her mom speaks to her once a week, but nothing about the case. Apparently her delusional world still exists. It was interesting, says Olive. Well, this goes back too. I mean, you look at this, y'all. It's cut and dry. Look what was produced in that unholy relationship with Lori and Chad, and neither one of them want to get a divorce. They want to stick with it. They produced through their union absolute evil, diabolical murder of innocent life. It's disgusting. It's nasty. To even stop to think that you would be married to somebody who would chop up your own child. It's just and still be in love with them. Good morning, Kimberly. Thank you, Sandra Jack. I thought it was nice. I did what Mary and Rick wanted. I was probably more nervous than they were, but I was very, I felt like in my heart of hearts, I was reverent about it. I knew from top to bottom that I was really there to do something right and truthful and good. Olive, I'll tell you what, everyone has been saying that since both these two got indicted. And everybody's like, she's going to throw him under the bus, or he's going to throw her under the bus. The smartest thing that damn asshole could have done would immediately, knowing what he knew, was to get John Pryor to file divorce papers and set up his defense. But that's not what he did. And I'm telling you, John Pryor, he could have took the time. All he has to do is get a formatted divorce. I mean, it don't have to go through. All it has to do is be on the record that Chad Daybell filed for divorce, and he should have done it from the get-go. But he has no defense. He has no defense. That wouldn't have been surprising to me that he would have pulled that, because he is disgusting and evil and creepy and all those things. But I guess he didn't do it because he was trying to keep his queen quiet. And y'all know she didn't want her attorneys to say some of the things that they said. She didn't want it put off on Chad. She wanted to be the dutiful wife, don't y'all know? Yes, Susan. Mary is she's on cloud nine. She is the most beautiful person. And in this day and time, I think people get so saturated with what a wedding should be and all the materialism surrounding it and everything. We threw some actual tradition that she wanted in it, but it was just her heart and his heart. And I'm so proud for them. Thank you, Bug Tussle 66. Well, Diane White, realistically speaking, now that everyone and their mama knows that Lori and Chad did what they did for money, do you think anyone's going to write that damn hussy an insurance policy? Or him, for that matter. Hell, he's got insurance fraud. I really appreciate the positive feedback, y'all, on that. I mean, how many people get the opportunity to do something like that or be a part of that? I really enjoyed it. Yeah, Kathy Mama Bear, me and Mr. Wayne, we went to the courthouse and just we didn't have no ceremony, nothing. We got married by the county clerk lady, and then we took off to New Smyrna Beach for a week and we took the kids. So well, Ann Gibson, I would probably have to agree to that about how they view that they need to stay married and all this and that. But I just absolutely wonder, if Chad is married to Tammy and he's also married to Lori, and yet you're not supposed to do polygamy, or, I mean, I don't understand. Maybe one day somebody will explain it to me. I'm sure Tammy's going to want, on the other side of the veil there, she's going to want to share her husband Chad with the hussy. Oh, that's pretty neat, Mama Bear. Y'all went to the Justice of the Peace's house. That's neat. We actually left after getting, it was like a quick little thing. She signed it. We took a few pictures with her, with the county clerk lady. And then we went to O'Charlie's. And our wedding cake was one of those chocolate, you know what I'm saying? The things they have, it's like one layer of chocolate, then a layer of ice cream, another layer of chocolate, and then it's drizzled with chocolate. And that's what we had, and we fed it to each other. Oh, it was good. So anyway, back to this thing that I want to talk to y'all about, and that is that, honestly, y'all, we're all older people. We know the things that we have to deal with being older people. Me being 52, I'm definitely not in the best shape as I was 15, 20 years ago. But when you're talking about the bottom line of someone who is spending their life in a jail cell, there's a lot of things that are going to go downhill real quick for the hussy. And in fact, I did some research, and I went to the Department of Corrections, and I was looking through all of that, and the health care of older incarcerated females. And I'm just telling y'all, it says the data that they've collected on it, the data indicate that women aging in prison are sicker than non-incarcerated women. And the National Institute on Corrections classify inmates as elderly when they're 50 years old and above. I did not know this. So even though they're, to me, elderly, I would say elderly to me is a loose term. I'm sure it has a definition in online and all that, but to me, elderly is when, like, you're at a stage where you really, like, you need help, like lots of help, like in-home nurse. I mean, there's older women in their 60s and 70s that I don't consider elderly. Some of them are more of a firecracker than 30 and 40-year-olds. It all depends on your health conditions and this and that. But according to the National Institute of Corrections, nationwide, they designate these women, if they're in their 50 and above, as elderly. So according to this factual data, Lori is elderly. Incarcerated females have higher rates of chronic medical disorders, psychiatric disorders, and drug dependence before receiving a prison sentence. Once inside, women that are 50 years and older seek medical care 2.5 times more than a male prisoner. I just think she's in for it. I mean, we saw her go downhill. If you take a look at her sitting in that chair by the dang chin there, the day they served her in Hawaii, y'all gotta admit, she looked pretty darn good sitting in that chair. She's living it up. She had her cute little turquoise bikini on, and she just looked so smooth. And then when she gets arrested, you see the craziness with the unicorn ponytail and the way it just over time she evolved, and the more you saw her, the more it looked like her eyes were sinking in. She looked possessed like a zombie, and she really looked bad, y'all. She looked so bad when she was found guilty. She looked like a dried up. It was like her hair was dry and brittle, coarse. Her face, I mean, I'm being realistic. I'd say this if I saw anybody like this. Her face looked like she wasn't getting enough hydration. And hey, folks, you look at me here. I mean, I got wrinkles. I'm an older woman. Just because I'm bringing these facts up don't mean I don't see myself. Hi, Daughter of Scotland. Oh, it's Daughter of Scotland's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Daughter of Scotland. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, Olive. Lori the hussy is a prune face. How old are you, daughter of Scotland? I just need to know. I'm sure everybody on here wants to know. Thank you, Bonnie Lee. I want to know how old you are. Because we're talking about Lori. She's, according to the Department of Corrections, when you turn 50 years of age, you're designated as elderly. And I'm going to tell you what, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Because a lot of y'all are 50 and older. Y'all know the stuff starts going downhill if you're not careful. Some of y'all have got that great DNA where you just get better and better. You might as well rub some of that off on all of us because we all need it. But around the time you turn 50 years of age, your hair can start to thin and recede. It probably will also be turning gray, depending on your ethnic group and your family history. And Lori will feel self-conscious, y'all, about how old her hair looks. But never fear, y'all. Lori in prison, she can color it. Now, I don't know what exactly they're going to be able to let her, if she's going to get to actually use a product or whether they've got some homemade way of coloring her hair. But folks, she doesn't look like she's had any highlights or coloring of her hair since she's been incarcerated in jail. You can see it's all grown out. She can't get a hold of any medicines that help. You know, they got these medicines on the well, let me see. Oh, you're 53, daughter of Scotland. So you're 1 year older than me. I have to respect my elders. Anyway, you can have those medicines. They got what, Nutrafol and all this. It will help your hair and all that. And obviously, the hair transplant is out for the hussy. She's going to have to deal with the hair she's got. And her hair did look awful. It's looked awful the whole time, really. Hi, Chris Arnett. Well, Kathy Mama Berry, that's a great question. Why would she even bother to even take care of her beauty needs or anything like that? What in the hell, y'all? That hussy, that's all she ever cared about was the way she looked. Being in pageants, using her looks, spreading her legs, whatever. You think she's going into prison, y'all. She's got to have something to gamble with to get her way in there. She's going to have to. And I'll tell you, even if she goes in there, acting like I'm not, oh, I'm so humbled. I should have never done all this, which is a crock of shit. But let's just, for sake of argument, you don't think that some of these women in here are going to be like, I pick you, and I want you to do these things to yourself because they excite me. Yeah. I'll tell you what, you got to have something to bargain with when you're in prison. Hey, Anasaur. So while we are on the outside, I would assume 9 times out of 10 of the people on here, there are 50 and olders on here. I know the demographics on here. There might be a couple of 40s, mid-40s, early 40s on here. I don't know of any young people that really come on here. Just me says 60 years old. What I'm saying is we know what we got to deal with. And yes, it does matter about your family dynamic. I mean, your DNA and all these things that are inherited and all this and that. But there are a lot of things that we deal with as 50 and over that we can combat and make better for ourselves But she is stuck. She is stuck in a cell. I know she's going to get to probably in prison. They have got to let them go outdoors and walk. They've got to let them do that. I mean, that... So, I don't know. The skin of a woman who's incarcerated, okay? We already see what jail has done for the hussy. Now that she's 50, and she's going into prison, and she's going to be eating the same type of bland meals every day. I mean, I don't think they get bottled water. I think they get like, you know, you can get it out of the sink. You got to wonder how that is. And Lori's got a lot of sun damage, y'all. Whether, you know, she wants to admit it or not, she's got sun damage because the damn hussy always went to Hawaii. And she always had a tan. And I'm sure the hussy went to tanning beds too, which aren't healthy. I confess earlier in my life I went to tanning beds. But the bottom line is this woman's been out in the sun so much that you can obviously see the sun damage on her. They're going to be age spots. She's going to have to watch for signs of skin cancer. She's not going to be able to even be concerned about wearing sunscreen because she's not going to be outdoors very often. She is going to be sunning herself, so to speak, under artificial lights in her jail cell or in the chow hall or in the shower room. And she might get a little bit when she goes outside to walk. Also, we were all amused when we saw her that first time with freaky glasses. I didn't know if those were prescription or not, but as you get older, many of y'all know, KJ can attest to this, your eyesight goes to hell in a handbasket. Or some of y'all have great eyesight, though. Good genes. You know, it all depends. But she's going to be wearing glasses at some point if, in fact, what she was wearing at her hearings was prescription eyewear. She's going to be wearing glasses. Her skin's going to continue to deteriorate. Her hair looks like it does. It looks like a scouring, one of those scouring pads that you, you know, scour a pan with. Brillo pad, that's what it is. Lori is going to be the hussy Brillo pad with glasses. Also, y'all, we got to talk about it. I know nobody wants to talk about it this early in the morning, but we're going to talk about it. Lori's going to have a lot of menopausal and listen, okay, I'm just going to say it. We're all adults here. She's going to have a very dry vagina. It's going to be itchy. She's probably going to get yeast infections all the time. She's probably, I mean, you know, it tells you all this stuff about, you know, because the lining in your vagina gets thinner and drier, sex could also be painful. And if anyone thinks that Lori is never going to have sex again when she goes into prison, you got another thing coming, y'all. And the only remedy for that, y'all know, is that KY or the lube or whatever. Well, they don't sell that shit in prison. Okay? They don't do it. So they're going to have to come up with whatever, I guess what, other means, maybe get a little, shortening or lotion or something to keep that thing waxed up. Well, y'all, she turned 50 on Monday. And this is problems that women 50 and older have. You know, I'm just telling you. She's going to be in prison. When she walks, that thing's going to be so dry, you're going to hear it crunching. let's just say the desert will be in her pants. I think, I'm sure Chad's wore that thing out with his little gherkin. I'm sure he got, played pinball with it. I'm sure he did something to that effect. And she's been just used to, over the years. I mean, it's plain and simple, y'all. Let's just get real here. A woman's used to continuous sexual activity. I mean, y'all, we're adults here. The bottom line is Lori is in prison, or going to be going to prison. She's getting sentenced July the 31st. She is going to be in prison for the rest of her life. And that little dang money maker of hers, nobody's going to be able to throw some nickels at it anymore. She's going to have to give that out to keep people from beating her ass. Okay? It's just the way it is. Yeah, Chris Arnett. Lori's going to be the crunchy taco. Yeah, the what is it? The taco from Antarctica. The crypt keeper. And Gibson says you can strike a match on it. Come here, Lolo. Come here. I need to strike a match on it, Lori. Munch Cruncher. Hot dog down the hallway. Also, I've looked at, okay, I gotta change the subject because y'all know how y'all get me started on this stuff. Yeah, Solo Dove, sling it, crunchy taco to cell block 3. I started it. Y'all are finishing it. What about the veneers? Huh? What about the veneers for Lori while she's incarcerated? Unless she has an emergency situation, there ain't gonna be none of this cosmetic shit for the hussy. Ain't gonna be none of these crowns or fillings or anything like that. I'm telling y'all, the only time they call in a dentist is when someone needs to have a tooth extracted. So year after year after year, y'all, she's not going to a dentist to get her veneers and her white treatments and all this bullshit. If she goes into a room to meet a dentist in a prison, they are going to be there to pull a tooth out. That's it. They don't do none of this extra shit. They're not going to. I mean, and the reason I can say this is I have looked on a state and federal level in the Department of Corrections, and despite being designated either a federal or state correction facility, the dental office at the Bureau of Prisons facility, do not have the instruments to maintain veneers, implants, anything like that. And so they go, and instead of maintaining any of this extra cosmetic stuff that Lori might have had done to her mouth, that's out. If she wants something done by a dentist in prison, the only thing she's going to get is a tooth extraction. And just the thought of her getting her teeth pulled out one by one over the years, because she's not going to get a pair of freaking dentures. She's not going to get implants or anything like that. She is going to see every tooth come out of her head. Tanya Levine says maybe Lori can use gum to stick them back on. Hello, Tessie. Teresa, excuse me. Thank you, Jennifer. Good morning, Norma. Donna Donald, I really, really enjoyed your comment on the community wall. That was absolutely a good comment there. Oh, Nicole, yeah, I could just see her. I got one on the front here. I need it pulled. So that's something to think about. Also, as Lolo gets older, and she has to figure out ways to keep that money maker between her legs actionable with the other inmates so that she can get her way. What else does the woman got to offer? What, a smile? A slinky, evil, diabolical, manipulating friendship with somebody? I don't think so. And when you're in prison, people only look at you for what you can do for them. Ain't none of this bullshit about let's be friends, you know, my buddy. Wherever I go, I know she goes. My buddy and me likes to climb up her tree. You know it, y'all. There's always an instigation there over what can you do for me in a prison. So this woman, Lori, that's now considered by correction facilities 50 years of age and over as elderly. We're going to look now at Lori's bone density as she gets older. When you're younger, your body swaps out worn down bone cells with new strong ones. By the time you're in your 50s, you have more broken down bone cells than can be replaced. This means your bones naturally get weaker. To protect them, eat foods that are high in calcium and vitamin D. Weight-bearing and resistance exercises like hiking and lifting weights can also help your bones stay strong. Number one, she's not going to get any freaking supplements in prison. They're not going to allow her to have a little cubby in her jail cell of different holistic vitamins and all this crap, because they know that they use those to barter back and forth with other inmates. They're not going to let them have it. So we know, and we've talked about this about 2 years ago anyway, about the nutrient requirements of an inmate. She's not going to get any of that extra calcium or anything like that. She's not, I mean, I don't know what they're going to have in commissary. What can they buy in commissary that's got calcium and vitamin D? I mean, she better drink the shit out of the damn whole milk, little carton she gets for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And, you know, as you get older, your bones do get, and you know, she's going to have to deal with it. Somebody's going to push her up against the wall walking by, and she could very well shatter something. I mean, it's something to think about anyway. Yeah, Donna Donald, I'm sure that Janice is sending commissary money. But that just because Lori has something on commissary doesn't mean that what they have available on commissary is going to help that damn woman. I mean, y'all, the last time we saw her, she had those thermal underwears under her stripes when she was leaving. Remember when they had that motion for a new trial thing and she was leaving? She can't stand to be cold, y'all. So she's gotten that from commissary. She's gotten those thermals. All the ramen noodles you could pay for, says Donna. And it's incredible, is it not, y'all? That it's come down. This woman had been telling everyone all this time that she had this special mission on earth. And she was so this and she was so that. And this is what it comes to. Her 50 years of her life. And this is the result, the legacy of what she has to give. So we know that she's going to be dealing with that. Peanut butter sandwiches for life, says Norma. Then we look at Lori now and her muscles. After you turn 50, you start to lose muscle at a faster rate. Your physical strength can get weaker too. The best way to stop this slide is to lift weights or to do strength training exercises. Not only will you build more lean muscle mass, but you'll also improve your sense of balance, which will come in handy as you get older. I don't know if the prison system is going to have like a weight room, or whether their exercise is just walking around outside. You know, there are some women in prison that look like they could bench press a Mack truck. Lori better be careful. She might get squished. But y'all remember her in that interview when after they murdered Charles. She's in that interview and she's wearing that kind of muscle shirt. You can see she's got muscles in her arms. You've seen her over there in Hawaii when they served her there. She looked like she was pretty toned, y'all. And the bottom line is you got to keep that. You know, that stuff's not going to be kept up just by good genes. She's going to have to deal with that. Also, as she gets older, at 50 and older now, Lolo is going to have to worry about her joints. The tissue and cartilage that cushion your joints begin to thin over time. And you'll feel the effects of this in your 50s. To stave off joint pain and arthritis, you start with your posture. When you slouch, you put pressure on your joints. And keep an eye on your weight, since extra pounds can put pressure on your joints. Also, drink lots of water. When you're thirsty, your body pulls fluid from joint tissue. Let me say that again. When you're thirsty, your body pulls fluid from the joint tissue. And that's exactly what's going to happen to any woman over 50 at some point or another. But in the case of the dang hussy, she is incarcerated. She better get the damn sink running. Drink that water, because her joints are going to go to hell. She's going to be walking on concrete floors for the rest of her freaking life. And some of y'all know what I'm talking about, because some of y'all have worked either in a factory or say at a big store or something where you got the concrete floors, and how damn it'll throw you damn back out. Really, it'll hurt you. Walking on those concrete floors, y'all, she's going to have to walk on them the rest of her freaking days. There ain't going to be none of this plush damn carpet shit. There ain't going to be none of this hammocks and swimming weightlessly in the Hawaiian Sea there. She's going to be walking on concrete, cold-ass concrete, the rest of her days. She's going to have artificial light. She might get a little vitamin D going out into the exercise yard there, here, and there. But the bottom line is her damn joints are going to be hurting. And if anybody thinks they're going to give her something to soothe that, they might give her ass a damn ibuprofen or something. Sure ain't going to give her something that people can go to their doctor and get relief through joint pain, arthritis. She won't get none of that. Nearly 95%, y'all, of people who are 50 years or older say they're satisfied or very satisfied with their lives. Can the damn hussy say that? Can Lolo say she is satisfied or very satisfied with her life? I don't think so. With that being said, but in women, and in terms of satisfaction of life, the hormone shift of menopause can cause changes in moods. If Lori gets sick, she's going through menopause, it's going to make it that more very discomforting, you know. As she goes through menopause, these mood swings and things that people get. A simple strategy to boost the mood is to sit less and move more. Now, does anybody want to tell me how the dang hussy is going to have to increase her mood and make it better by sitting less and moving more? Because the only thing I can see at the moment is she's sitting her ass in a prison cell, and I'm sure she'll have to walk around in that cell. Maybe she'll jump around and dance a little bit. But after a few years of doing that shit, she's going to become just sitting on her fat ass. Excuse me, y'all. If I ever get rid of this freaking summer cold, think about this. She's going to get sick in prison. She's going to get a cold. There's going to be other germs, bacterial, viral. They could have a breakout in prison. And, she ain't going to be able to go see her doctor, a good doctor. She's going to be put on a list. She might get an appointment to see one if she's running a fever or something. They'll give her the basic stuff and send her ass back. She's not going to get any special treatment. She sure as hell ain't going to be able to walk up and down a commissary with different cold medicines and cough medicines. And she doesn't get to take that shit back to her dang cell there. So she's going to have to sit less and move more in order to make her mood better. Your chances as a woman, 50 years or older, y'all, of mental health issues are higher if you sit more than 7 hours a day and don't exercise. Well, I'll tell you what, these women that are incarcerated, I have compassion for them. A lot of them are probably good women that made bad mistakes. They're just serving out their sentence. But in the case of people like Lolo there, that evil, diabolical hussy, the bottom line is she deserves everything she gets. Then we get to what I kind of touched on, and that is the immune system. Her immune system. And yes, Kathy Barella, we'll get to the breast implants here in a minute. Because that's on down through here. I'm glad you brought that up. Cutter says, I work nights on concrete floors. If I don't hydrate and wear super comfy sneakers, my body hurts so bad. Yo, Lori is going to be walking on concrete the rest of her days. Jennifer says, 2 inmates just beat another inmate to death in a max pod at the men's prison in Boise. I'm sure it happens at the women's as well. Oh, yeah, Olive. When your feet are sore, your whole body's sore. And you think they give them damn, those arch fits, these nice, super comfy shoes in prison? No, they give them the damn government issue, freaking rubber-ass orange flip-flops. Yeah, that's really going to really be good for her walking on that concrete. But let's get to the immune system, shall we? 50 and older. Now, again, this has a double purpose. I'm 50 years or older. I could use this advice. I'm out here in the world. We're out here in the world, enjoying this world, getting to eat what we want, go and do what we want to do. And that damn hussy, she's going to be giving the same advice. Well, the advice is there whether it's given to her or not. It's the facts. 50 or older, she's going to have to deal with it. Now that she's 50 years of age and sliding on down the hill there, this can be slower to go after viruses and other outside threats. The immune system. It's also more likely to attack itself by accident as you get older. In other words, there might be something in there that your body, as you get older, just misunderstands in terms of the immune system and attacks itself. I think that people have said, shingles and other things like that you develop as you get older. Things can happen there. Also, as you get older in your immune system, your body no longer makes as many fighter cells to destroy infections as it used to. Because of all this, you're more likely to get sick with the flu, pneumonia, or tetanus. So make sure you're up to date on your vaccines. Now, this goes back to whether or not the prison system, is it mandatory that their prisoners take these vaccines? Whether it's COVID, whether it's other vaccines. And, the question really is, Lori, she didn't have a problem sucking the tit of the government to steal money from the government, live off of it, when she was an able-bodied person, could have got out here and done what she needed to do to take care of herself. But now, the bottom line is does this Lori, is she against vaccines? And could she just be opening herself up to getting COVID or something else while she's in prison when most of the other prisoners in there have taken these vaccines? I don't know. So, does anybody know whether, because I didn't check that part, in terms of the vaccines, like, do they have to take the COVID shot? Does anybody know if she was one of these anti-vaxxers? Because she'd be opening herself up big time if she was one of these that didn't get certain vaccinations. I don't know. I honestly don't. I usually y'all back me up. Someone on here always backs me up to let me know about that. I don't know if it's mandatory that the damn hussy has to take vaccines. Hey, y'all want to see something neat? Y'all want to see something neat? Look, y'all. This is where I live. You ready? Look. Did y'all see that? We have like the Amish and the Mennonites come through here from time to time. Pretty neat, huh? I don't know if y'all saw that or not. It was a little bit of a distance. She was in jail a time of COVID, so I guess she would have to get it. I don't think anybody can be forced to take a COVID shot, y'all. I don't think anybody can be forced to do it. Good morning, Daisy. Sue Shine. Y'all, I gotta go warm up my coffee. I'll be right back. So anyway, it's just a lot more to it if you think about it. About, women as a whole, okay? And I don't really like to put the damn hussy in the category of women, but she is a female. She's far from a real woman. A real woman loves and protects children and are good mothers and all that, but that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is, per Google, Mama Bear says they are not mandatory. So, I guess the question is whether the hussy will take a shot or not. If she took it, it could protect her, or it could backfire on her. I know a lot of people that have taken different shots that made them sick. But I would assume that anyone who knows they're going to be incarcerated for the rest of their freaking life, they know they got to be around all these other women. And by the way, y'all, make no mistake, I got to bring it up, y'all, we're all adults here. Until she goes through menopause, if she's still having a monthly, remember her and Zulema? We're going translated. We don't have to have a period anymore. My period, I don't have my period. The bottom line is, and if she is still having her monthly period, she will line up her period with all these other women. And it's the smell. I'm telling y'all. I've looked it up. I didn't want to believe it. Somebody had told me. And what it is the when women get together and they live in close proximity with each other, they start to have their periods at the same time. Now imagine that. A whole prison full of women menstruating the same time. Could you imagine that? PMS, the absolute having to deal with all that. I'm telling y'all. Let me just re-emphasize again, y'all, on a national study that older female inmates are generally sicker than their non-incarcerated counterparts. So if any of us, we get sick or whatever, we don't get as sick as that dang Lolo is going to be getting as she is incarcerated. Right, Nancy, I'm telling you, it's I think it has something to do with a smell or something to that effect. It's crazy, but when women aren't living in close proximity to one another, they start to have their periods around the same time. Right, MJ. It's really wild. And what's interesting about it is I think they said there was 800 plus women in Pocatello. Could you imagine that scene? Oh, is Kresha in here? Good morning, Kresha. Happy belated birthday, by the way. Good morning, Sugar Butt Starburst. What did Kresha get another haircut? It's good to see you, girl. Did you get another haircut, Kresha? I knew you had some cut off, to shoulder length. Did you get another haircut? It's been a while. Oh, it's beautiful. I like the haircut. It makes you look taller. They say that the longer your hair, it kind of brings a person down. And when you cut it shorter, it makes you look taller. And I'm 5'4", and so I got to keep my shit short. So I guarantee you, y'all, the bottom line is this. Come July 31st, if we thought she looked like a freaking damn Brillo pad when she was convicted, and if she looked the way she did walking out after her motion here and there the last time we saw her, I guarantee you, being in prison, she's what? She's gonna, it's gonna be, no one's ever gonna really see her again after she goes to prison, which is gonna be a plus because all she ever freaking cared about was people looking upon her. I'd say at the sentencing, she's probably gonna look pretty rough. Kresha, the reason I said happy birthday is I thought you said something to the effect of that your birthday was coming up. I saw it on one of your, where it talks about whenever you set your live stream. I thought that's what you said, but you didn't say the date, so I thought, oh, is it coming up sooner? Olive, I don't know if the sentencing is, I would say so. I think it would be a crock of shit if we can't get the cameras in there for her sentencing. I don't even like the fact that the way they did the when she was guilty on all charges, the way they had the split screens, you can't see shit really. You screenshot something and you want to see the look on that freaking hussy's face. You just don't get to see it as well. What do y'all think about Adam and Uncle Rex, who looks identical to Uncle Alex? Kresha, there's some people, a lot of people online talking about something to the effect of they're going to be doing a book or something like that. Is anybody even surprised? Really? Is anybody surprised that some of these people are doing what they're doing? I mean, I guess everybody has their own opinion about it. I never did like Adam Cox. I don't care if some of y'all say, KJ, he was on Charles's side and he was this. No, there are things about Adam Cox that don't sit right with me. What is the news? Because I'm getting bits and pieces of it. The news is, what, Adam and Rex are writing a book? What, are they going on a freaking media spree? What the hell? What are these people doing? Oh, Brittany Turney saying that Adam and Rex are doing a podcast. So they're not writing a book. News meaning, did y'all see the interview of Adam and Rex by Nate? I have not, Kresha. Kathy Mama Bear says, book and podcast. Well, they need to take their dang book and their podcast and shove it so far up their ass it winks at them. Okay, that's just my opinion. Unless they want to take that book and that podcast and give the money to the victims' family members. That's what I'm talking about. This is aggravating as shit. What kind of dang view? What kind of view? And I know some of y'all are like, KJ, we want to hear what they got to say. That was Lori's brother and uncle. It's okay. Yeah, it's fine if you want to hear that shit. All I'm saying is they need to say, we're doing this podcast and we're doing this book and some of the proceeds of it are going to go to the victims' family members. That's what I'm talking about. I'm sick and damn tired of it. Let me tell you something, Kresha. If Adam Cox and Rex want to kind of do their narrative that they're above other people that don't believe the way they do, I'd like them to come up and get in my face. Because I have a personal relationship with God Almighty. And anyone that loves the Lord does as well. Everybody in the freaking world that loves Jesus Christ, the real Jesus Christ. Nobody's above me. Nobody's below me. We're all equal in this world. And these people come out here thumbing their damn noses up, acting like they're going to damn tell us, teach us something. Give me a break. Y'all know I'm one of these type people. I am very open to being educated by other people. I pick and choose what it is that I want to learn, because some of the things that people want to teach just ain't up my alley. But I'm going to tell you what, if Adam and Rex want to come out here and talk their shit and make it out to be like, oh, we're better than you and all this, they can kiss my country ass. Jennifer, you're right. We should be open to listening to other people and everything like that. I get it. But the question is, what is the real motivation here? Is it just, is it not enough that these victims' family members, and some of y'all might say, well, Adam is kind of like a victim. Rex is kind of like a victim, folks. How deeply involved were any of them? Did Rex and Adam, did they go out here and search for the kids? They were too busy either distancing themselves from the situation, knowing good and damn well they just should have damn bucked up and had a set of balls and got their Adam's sister, got her put in a mental institute, or Rex the uncle should have laid down the hammer with Janice or something. These people want to act like they want to do good now. Where were they? Where were they? Adam wants to say, well, I saw that text message and Charles says, I told him to be careful going in there. And then what? Does Adam go over there to make sure Charles is okay? No, he takes off. He takes off. If he's so damn concerned about something, Alex and them, something, they're up to something, why in the hell is he taking off? He should have been there. He should have done more. And not this other stuff. I can tell y'all right now, make no mistake. The only one of them, Zach Cox, is the only one that I have a good feeling about. For him to say that they were over at Janice's saying that Charles had been murdered, and she actually heard that to go on to take up for her daughter, you get no sympathy from old KJ here. Well, I'll tell you what, the bottom line is that people are going to consume it. People are going to want to listen to this podcast of Adam and Rex there. I hope they do a better job of a book and not some kind of one-sided bullshit. What is it? I make mention of silver linings. I know that much. Is that what this book is going to be titled? Silver Linings? Somebody educate me. Is this podcast called Silver Linings, or is the book called it? Because I'm telling y'all, I haven't been doing shit all week. I haven't been keeping up with the news or nothing. Oh, well, when did Rex already write a book? That's what the podcast is called, says Jewel Box News. They say they're not charging for this book or this podcast. Because, I don't know. Bama Cat says it should be called Silver Bracelets. Thank you, Jewel Box News. I appreciate that. Well, I guess you gotta wonder how they're gonna frame this all with Lori and everything. But that being their family member. I don't see them coming out and trashing her per se. I think they'll say she did wrong and all this and that. But I don't think they're going to go and trash her. It's probably an apologetic type of situation. What do y'all think? Has anyone read the first book of Rex's? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Krisha. To answer all the burning questions about Lori, Rex and Adam's going to educate us all. Well, I'll tell you what. If they had all the freaking answers about that damn hussy and how diabolical and evil she was, they should have been stopping her ass beforehand. If they had this kind of knowledge, if they get these revelation, if they got this man thing where they get to see things and all that, sure as hell didn't. Olive says it's the before and after Lori. Well, I can tell you what. I guarantee you. If anybody wants to know any of that, all you have to do is look at what we've looked at for over 2 years. If Adam and Rex there want to know about their own family member, I guarantee you that Leah Sottle and John Glatt did as good a job of as anybody out there. They laid it on the line and told the truth about how crazy ass these people are. But I, again, going to state, there are certain people out here in the world that want to apologize for this religious, fanatical bullshit. It ain't floating with old KJ. Exactly, Kathy Barella. It's a little too late for the Cox family. It would have done, if they'd done something after Charles's death, they could have done something before that. They knew their damn family member there was a damn whack job. She was acting weird. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they gotta sew things up, don't you know, Krisha? They gotta smooth it out so that, because people do, after it's all said and done, when you get some resolution, someone gets convicted on all charges, you look at the whole damn scheme, other questions start to pop into the mind, and they can't have those, don't you know? They can't have those. Krisha, if Adam and Rex are saying that her beliefs were not extreme, I guess this is going to dovetail into her religious beliefs were not extreme until she got with Chad. Let me tell you, that woman was already freaking a nut job before she even laid eyes on that nasty asshole. Okay? She was already listening to crazy ass stuff and doing all that. And hey, listen, I don't blame anybody. If somebody wants to go out here and listen to this podcast or get this book, hey, more power to you. What I say is, just as some of y'all have said on here, I'll echo it. It's a little too soon, a little too late. It's just too late. Right, Nancy. And listen, this is where I give Annie Cushion kudos. She did a podcast on Adam Cox. She focused in on that. And she focused in on basically the minute by minute. How do you go from being, something, they're going to do something, to you go off somewhere, and the only way that you find out that something has happened as you look it up on the news, well, what would make you want to do that in the first place? If he didn't think nothing was wrong, why type in Charles Vallow's name and that pop up while he's in another place? Why even go there if you didn't think nothing was wrong? You know? Why go there? We're talking logically, y'all. Common sense. There's no reason for say, okay, Jay, I wouldn't type in somebody's name if like I left them somewhere. Oh, something's gonna happen to you, something's weird going on here, and then you go off somewhere. And whether or not he wants to say he could get a hold of Charles or not, the bottom line is he should have immediately went over there if he thought something terrible was going to happen. But this goes back again, y'all, to the whole Cox family. They came right out the gate. I'm not saying Adam and Rex did, but I'm just saying Janice, Summer. Isn't it interesting that old Barry there hasn't never said nothing to no one, but this man doesn't have a problem getting up on a freaking damn soapbox to run for office or to evade paying his taxes, filing lawsuits against the government and everything else. He ain't got a problem doing all that shit. Right. The bottom line is that it's just too late. I mean, what more can be learned? Because let me tell you what, whatever content that Rex and Adam bring out, you got to look past what they're saying to understand what it is, in a nutshell, is it their message? What is the message? Not what they're saying, it's what the message is. And I will just hypothesize and theorize that it's to an apology tour, basically. A way to make it look like, we knew something was wrong and everything. How? You can't have it both ways, says Krisha. You can't have it both ways. One minute you think something's wrong and you don't do shit. And then when the shit hits the fan, say, this was the way it was, and all it's going to be about is why they didn't act. They'll say anything but that, really. They'll move around that issue. Well, Teresa, I don't know what kind of reputation Adam and Rex had. All I know is that the Cox family did not step up and do anything meaningful in search of those children. Which lends old KJ to say, if they thought the kids were out here somewhere, you would think they'd be out there looking for them. It's almost like I feel like they must have known something bad had happened. And they just wasn't, they didn't know, I guess they just got caught with their pants down, basically. Well, Nancy, the same thing, a lot of the people, remember when that Netflix thing came out with Kobe and Janice? I never watched it. I, to this day, haven't watched it. There are certain things I'm just not willing to do. I remember when, who was it? What's her name? She's the sister-in-law of Chad Daybell. I forgot her first name, but she come out and she did that interview. From then on, she hasn't just gone on and on and on about this. She went on to do other things. They said it's about helping families to mend their broken relationships. Well, isn't that special, Jewel Box News? The family that she murdered, which was part of their family too, how are they going to heal that? How are they going to heal that? Tylee and JJ are never going to be here again. And that was their family. Yeah, right, Kathy Mama Bear. It's Heather Daybell. I forgot her first name. All right. Ann Gibson, go have fun shopping. All I'm saying is I could sense from Heather Daybell that she was being, she was being real. I don't know. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is for the most part, I think most people can sense what people are doing and what they're, why they're doing it and this and that. How do you heal a deceased loved one, says Norma. What I'm saying is this situation in the Cox family, okay? It's none of my business. I'm just giving opinion here. You just go on to think, I think in terms of, put yourself in that situation, right? And it's really hard because even though I've had a brother who was murdered, it had nothing to do with any other family member doing that to my brother. So it's hard for me to put myself in that situation. So I think, okay, what do families do? Okay, families, they have like family reunions and they get together during special occasions, say Thanksgiving or Christmas, or they go to church together or something. They do something as a family, okay? Can you imagine the Cox family all sitting down at a Thanksgiving dinner or singing Christmas songs on Christmas Eve together, or having a cup of cocoa there, sitting there knowing that each of those family members, each of them knew something. I'm not saying they knew that the kids were going to be murdered, but they have to know, y'all. They have to know that Lori needed help a long time ago. And none of them did shit. They coddled her. That's what they did. They coddled her just as much as them damn cult members did. You can't feel empowered to do something unless people are like, yes, like Summer says, I believe in your mission. I know it's real. Give me a break. Yeah, well, Badger, I'll tell you, the aftermath of what has happened to their family member, knowing that their family member murdered those children. They know she's murdered Charles. They know Alex helped her do all this shit. This isn't just one family member. This was two of their family members doing this to innocent people. They had to have known. There ain't no damn way, y'all. Especially if you really want to say, well, KJ, sometimes families just, they see the best in each other. They don't see the bad side until it's too late. Haven't you ever seen these shows where there was a family member of a serial killer that said, I had no clue. I had absolutely no clue that they were like this. The bottom line is when that shit happened with Charles, hell, I'll even say when that shit happened with Joseph Ryan. But let's get to Charles. When that happened to him, and you've got Zach Cox emphatically on the freaking video telling everybody on YouTube that they were yelling out to Janice, Charles was murdered, and they don't do nothing from then on out. They they don't do nothing, that the words are in the air, whether Janice believed it or not. When someone is telling you your child, your adult child, has murdered, two of your adult children have murdered somebody, whether you want to believe it or not, folks, at that moment when you've got another family member telling you that about other family members, you do something about it, or at least laser in on it. Do something to get those people help. But they just continued to validate them. Continue to just kept validating them. And yeah, Kathy Barella, I mean, just think about this. They've got kids in their family. Now, some of them, I'm sure, well, I think Zach's a young adult. There's got to be other younger family members in there. You got I mean, does Janice and all them, do they see Kobe's kids? I mean, I'm wondering if Kobe and Kelsey there have worked out their arrangement since all that went down with Kobe and Kelsey. What I'm saying is how could you go, say, to a family picnic and see all these little kids running around and know that two of the kids were murdered who should have been running around with them? And, this goes into this whole thing about, Mother's Day. I mean, can Janice, did she get any Mother's Day's gifts this year? How about Grandparents' Day? Is she going to think about the kids on Grandparents' Day? What are they going to do there? Yeah, I would probably, I have a little note from Adam and his ex-wife when they were together and moved in temporarily with my uncle and Loho. It was a thank you note, granted, but it was super shallow. Kathy Barilla says Lori was their cash cow after Charles's death. Well, I mean, y'all think Chad Daybell was going to be, let's play it out. Lori and Chad wouldn't have went on to have a successful life. Hell, what were they going to do? I mean, they couldn't live off the damn blood money forever, right? I mean, even $4,000 a month in Social Security benefits, what is this going to be until they die? Until Lori and Chad get old? Go on to their next probation? Give me a break. Right. Hey, I'm an American. I think anybody should be able to write a book, have a podcast, do whatever the hell they want to do. I mean, it's their own business. They don't need my permission to do shit. But I'll tell you this right now. It's never going to be right, y'all. Until people that make money off of these terrible tragedies, until that is established that the victim's family members should be the ones, if anyone, to get any kind of benefit at all. I mean, like, any of that's really going to matter to them anyway. Their hearts are broken. But it should be some way to honor the family by doing that. Right. Tragedy pimps. The bottom line is this. Lori, Adam, Janice, Barry, any of the Cox family there, they're growing older. Just as Lori is she's incarcerated. She's going into the prison system. She's going to grow old. She's already showed, we've already seen it, y'all. We've already seen the evolution of the Lolo from Hawaii back to Idaho. These last couple of hearings, she looks disgusting. She's pathetic. And these people they're going to get older too. And they better not, absolutely better not get on some kind of freaking damn highfalutin damn, we're better to be able to tell y'all about this or that, Adam and Rex and all these other people. The bottom line is, if anybody wants to hear something, they need to hear it from Cresha or Kay or Larry or people like that. That's who I want to hear from. I mean, it's if for nothing else, y'all, and I don't take pleasure in other people's suffering. I don't. But with that said, when someone does something evil and wrong and terrible, they have to face the consequences of that. The bottom line is her consequences, or she's going to be on a concrete floor walking around for the rest of her freaking days. And that's not going to be fun. That is not going to be fun. She's not going to get to, I mean, for God's sake, y'all, in some ways, you think about it. If she'd have never done what she'd done and everything, she would have went on to even, I mean, of course we would have had these people's lives alive, but think about everything she could have continued to do out here in the world. Spew, ruin people's lives, do things she was doing. We don't have to have her out here in society anymore. Preying, not praying, but preying on other people, weak-minded people, and getting these people all freaking riled up. It's just interesting to me that anytime any of the Cox family got involved in any of this was when the right was on the wall. Before the right was on the wall, you didn't hear anything from them. You didn't hear anything from them. As long as there was just a little tad bit of safety, where you didn't have to see things for what they really were, they did not insert themselves. Now that the writing is on the wall, there's no denying it. There's no question. There's no conjecture. There's no, could be this or could be that. Then now they have to come out because they have to explain themselves, and they will explain themselves, and they'll blanket it all that they're not here to explain themselves. They're going to blanket it all that these are just things that, just happened, and these are our perspectives and all this and that, and that's fine. You got to know every perspective out here in order to fill in a mosaic, but when you think about it, people get their perspectives adjusted for the situation, which to me is not real perspective. It's just people out here that realize that everybody else knows what's going on, so they've got to somehow fit it in there to make it seamless that they, there's nothing to see here, folks. We're right there with you. Love you, Kathy, Mama Bear. I'm not interested. I'm sure the Rays, as they always have, when they see things online or whatever that they find interesting, they'll usually give me the bullet, the bullets in there. They usually give me the points they felt were important or that they thought were interesting, and that's cool. If anybody wants to share a little comment here and there about it, I don't have a problem with that. I myself am not interested. Well, Badger, before it fades, don't you know? Because, see, we've all said it 2 years ago. It will never fade in old KJ's eyes. It will never fade. And I know the Rays on here agree. This isn't just, oh, this is a case. We're going to go on to another case. And don't get me wrong, if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is this, before it fades in social media realm, which it should never, but these people, there are people out here in the world that just, oh, that's done. Let's go on to something else. That's so sad. It should be something that if you see a tragedy like this, it should be built upon in terms of the good that can come out of it. And no, not this, what Rex and Adam call a silver lining. A silver lining in all of this is that these damn people will stop allowing their family members to do this crazy ass shit and realize that this isn't about religious belief. This is about psychopathic, narcissistic shit that they obviously think is normal in their family, or they would have absolutely run to the police and said, this is crazy. She needs help. Janice, says Adam, we got to get her in a mental health facility, Mom. She's talking crazy. No. The only silver lining that should come out of their mouths is we should have done more. We should have done more. We should draw attention to these red flags that, hey, I'm Adam and this is Rex here. We saw the red flags. We just chose to protect our family, which they didn't. We didn't protect our family because Tylee and JJ were part of our family, and we protected some of our family members, and it cost us other family members. And I will say this till the cows come home. Rob Wood said it. It does not matter what you believe. It's what you do. You can believe whatever the hell you want to believe. But when you go out here and hurt people, it's a hurtful thing. And I'll tell you something else. There is nothing more hurtful than somebody who says they are the right religion and that everybody else is wrong. And that they're the right ones, they're the exalted ones, they're the better ones, their shit don't stink. That, my friends, is pathetic. It causes pain for other people. To be shallow to them, to treat them like they're beneath them. Everybody on this stream should know there's been a time in your life where there's somebody been out here who acted like they were better than you. They acted like you didn't have a say-so in anything because you didn't know the deal. Well, let me tell you what. If these damn idiots out here know the deal, if these damn idiots out here that think they're in the right and they know the truth, how in the hell does that end up in murder? Huh? Huh? I know it might seem like I'm wrong to do this, y'all, but when I think about it, when I think about Summer Shiflett, she's talking to Lori while Lori's in jail, and she says, you know we would have took the kids. Why didn't they? Their sister was hopping around, for God's sake, after the damn shooting shit with Alex, murdering Charles. Do you think that the damn aunt Summer Shiflett there should have stepped up and said, damn it, Lori, I gotta have those kids because you are in a volatile situation here. You got Alex over here stockpiling weapons. You think these people didn't know? Yeah, grit and grace. Yes, Lori is facing charges in Arizona. And you think about that. You know, it'd be one thing if a family of Lori's, if there was one crime Just one thing had happened and it just slipped past them. And they just were duped. But they've got a freaking, almost a whole freaking year of 2019 of this crazy ass shit going on. And none of them do anything. None of them do nothing. Right, Jet Set Jade. Good point. If there'd been a shooting involved, why couldn't somebody, if Summer and them, Adam and them, Janice, whatever, didn't want Lori to know, they could have called Department of Children's Services and anonymously got something going on there. Hi, Hughes. Oh, Marilyn, you know, I don't even, there's no reason to even complain about the cult members knowing everything they did. We're talking about the fact that we've got family members of Lori now coming out with podcast and book. Boy, I'll tell you what, it's just, it's rich, isn't it? They don't have a problem getting out here publicly. Come out here publicly. After all the shit has happened, they can get out here publicly now. They can even talk about, well, back when I knew her, before all this happened, she was acting real strange. Why didn't you do anything, you dumbass? Well, I'll tell you what, Sam Willow, I've heard Pocatello isn't exactly the best prison either. Pocatello women's prison. Teresa, let's just get down to the nitty gritty of it. Did any of these members of Lori's family really want to take on the responsibility of Tylee and JJ? No, because all these people are so self-centered. All they think about is what they can get out of their life. It is what it is. Well, she's spending life in prison in Idaho. She'd have to stay in Idaho before going to Arizona. She might have to go to Arizona to get tried and convicted there, but she won't stay in Arizona. She'll be in Idaho. She better damn get her ass plenty of pairs of those thermal underwear, because her ass is not only going to get old, she's going to have brittle hair, her skin's going to fall apart, she's going to have a freaking damn, between her legs is going to be like the Sahara Desert. She's going to get yeast infections. She's going to have periods the same time as 800 other women. She's going to have to deal with this shit. And 50 years. You know, I think most of us can remember, if we've made it to 50 and over, we can remember turning 50 years of age and thinking, look, I've been here 50 years. You know, look what all that's happened in my life, the good, the bad, the ugly. Man, I'll tell you what, a legacy of what she and Chad are going to have to live with the rest of their days. I don't give a shit if she wants to live in her delusion. I don't care. Doesn't matter. She knows. She knows. Evil people always know the real deal. Deep in the back. They're just good at hiding it. She knows she's screwed. Sugar Butt Starburst, I guess the real question is if they're not going to get a divorce and they both get sent off to prison, there's then the point where they're able to communicate with one another. And it's disgusting. I think that they should order that they never get to speak again, because it was through their collaboration of evil that all this shit went down, and they shouldn't be able to talk to one another. But make no mistake, if that was the case, I'm sure they'd find ways through other people. I'm sure Janice and Summer, I'm sure they would find a way to get a message to that damn asshole. they can get married to other folks. Can you imagine that happening? Not legally, though, I don't think, Krisha. Until, if they're legally married, if Chad and Lori are legally married right now, which there was a Hawaiian marriage license there, they could, if you're talking about, let me get a one of these little hair bands, and this woman over here, Lori's gonna get married to this woman, just between them two, I could see that. Yes, unless it's ordered otherwise, Sugar Butt Starburst. So although I took the week off, y'all, and I missed the Hussey's birthday, her 50th birthday, I just wanted y'all to know that no matter where you look on this issue, no matter where you look on her at all, even if she is sitting there trying to convince herself that she is still in this delusional state or whatever, the bottom line is I know for a fact, and this is just me, that she knows deep down. She knows deep down. She's got to live with that. And we've seen the evidence of that thus far. I see no remorse, but I do see someone who knows that they're shit out of luck. They're not going to get out of this. There's no way to get out of it. And she's got to live with it. Also, the average age a woman's period stops is at 51. As your hormones drop, you might notice things like dry skin, hot flashes, and mood swings. And folks, my heart goes out to all women that have to go through this. But I am not going to have my heart go out to that damn hussy. Because of all of these things, y'all. She is at that stage now where not only is she taking, we know she's got to be taking some kind of psychiatric drugs. Those cause side effects, along with the fact that she is in a environment. As you grow older, it'd be the last place somebody needs to be in terms of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. As a woman 50 years of age and older, she is in the world's worst place. And they say, statistically speaking, women go downhill real quick after 50 in incarceration because they don't have all these options out here to help them, like strength training or different diets. She's going to be stuck on one bland-ass diet just to make sure that she's regular so she can squeeze one off every day. She's not going to get to do any of those. There's nothing in commissary, no extra vitamin supplements, nothing like that she is going to be able to take. Wow. I didn't know that, Krisha. I guess that could be good news, though, couldn't it? I mean, I had a partial hysterectomy years ago, so I haven't had to deal with that for a long time. Just said Jay, no. Because what they do in the prison system, they only allow them whatever they can get. Like if Lori went to commissary, and she had a lot of money on the books there because Janice put a lot on there, and she wanted to get 5 bottles of lotion, say, they're only going to allow her that 1 bottle in her cell, because what would she do? She would barter back and forth with other inmates, stuff like that. They won't allow it. And They're definitely not going to allow them vitamin supplements, because y'all know that you can take a bunch of vitamin supplements and it's going to do worse than having the shits. Some people can OD on that shit. If you're not carefully monitored by a doctor when you do vitamin supplements, a lot of people think, oh, it's healthy, it's holistic, it's not going to hurt you. You don't know that. Jewel Box News, I thought Zulema and them were saying that their menstrual cycles were going away, i.e. they were turning translated. I didn't remember them, her saying that their menstrual cycles were heavier. Am I wrong? Did I misunderstand that? Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Kresha, I still get the hot flashes from time to time. Y'all know me, I'm a walking mood swing. Could that have something to do with the fact I'm 52? I think I've been this way for several years, but I'll give it a little bit of credence there, but I thought, I mean, and really, if you think about it, y'all, looking back now, you know, you think of all the things that Lori was saying, and we always said, can she believe it? There were just too many physiological things that were not proving anything on being a translated being. See you, Nancy. That's interesting, Miss T. Yeah, it can come and go. Things can, you know, our bodies are so unique. We can look toward our, you know, like our mothers, or, you know, our health history with our family, but we're all so original. Even if we're part of our mother and part of our father, the bottom line is we're all unique. I guarantee y'all, I guarantee you, Lori is stressed out to the max. There's nothing there. I don't know anyone, I don't give a damn who they are, that can go and stay in a jail cell every day and not be stressed. Resolved is one thing. She might be resolved, I'm never getting out of here. But there is a innate stress to being caged up in all human beings. It will never leave her. She might learn to live with it where she don't even realize it. The bottom line is there always is going to be stress in her life. And what does stress do? It will grow you old real quick. And I guarantee you, when she gets into general population down the road in prison, she's going to be in such close proximity to all these other women that she's going to be able to sense whether she's got clairvoyance or not. Physically speaking, y'all know what I'm talking about. Where you get around somebody and you can almost sense something's not right with them, or it's just this feeling you get. And I believe it, y'all. I believe it's a physiological thing we have. It has to do with nonverbal cues. She's going to walk through there, say the cafeteria, with all these other women in there, and she's going to have to feel these people's eyes upon her. Or the words that these women say to her are going to penetrate her emotionally, and all of those things, and you talking about anxiety out the ass. She's going to have to deal with it. Hypervigilant. Exactly, Hope Grace. Yeah, Kathy, that's what I recall. Zulema and Lori thought that their cycles were going backwards. Give me a break. Give me a break. I mean, down to the nitty gritty, y'all. I don't like to use public restrooms. I don't. You know, sometimes you got to use a public restroom, y'all. You know, you go in a stall, say at a Walmart, and there's other people in there walking in and out, other people in the stalls on either side of you. They can't see you or nothing. But in a freaking dang prison system, there is no retaining wall there. Her damn toilet's out the wall. She's got to learn, if she ain't already, that she's got to take a shit in full view of everyone. Well, Jewel Box News, she can shit in one hand and hope in another, because nobody's coming to rescue her. The only one that's going to come to be her hero is whatever the most dominant woman in prison who decides to take a liking to her might give her a little protection, might keep her from getting her ass stomped by other women. It's just, it is what it is. There have been times in the last year or so, I want y'all to listen to me on this. I've looked in the mirror and I've realized how much older I've gotten. And really, if I want to really get down to the nitty gritty, I can look back at pictures of Wayne and I, or with my kids years past, and I know that I have aged. And I'm okay with that, because I know that each part of my life is a special thing. If people think you are not of any use, or there's nothing good that can happen as you get older, I don't know who these people are, or if they say, what is it, you're not young anymore, so really what you got to say or the things you can do just ain't that important. We all want to focus on these young, beautiful people out here. The hell with that. No matter your age, no matter what your medical health, whether you have disabilities, whether you have health conditions, whatever it is, you have something beautiful and something good to share with this world. And for all the people that don't want to see that, they can go to hell, okay? They can go to hell, because there are just as many people out here in the world that do want to see you at whatever age you are, and to value you and validate you in a real and truthful way. Cresha says, I can't stand my reflection in the mirror. I've gained so much weight and I'm uncomfortable in my own skin. Let me tell you something, Cresha. Since when have we been conditioned for this? Does somebody want to tell me why we think the way we do when we look in the mirror like that? Because it comes from somewhere. And I'll tell you what it comes from. It comes from all these freaking expectations that keeps being drilled in our head over and over again in society, that we got to look a certain way, or we got to be a certain size. Well, let me tell you something. There'll never be another you in this world. Ever. Past, present, future. Ever. And that's something to celebrate. That's something to look in the mirror and say, I don't give a damn what other people think. I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am real. Susan Purdy says, I'm 55. And Miss T says exactly what I believe and everyone on here believes. Cresha, you're beautiful, a beautiful woman inside and out. And you are. And, you know, it's sad that you don't want to accept that about yourself. And all these people out here believe it. I mean, really believe it. They're not saying it to make you feel better. The bottom line is you got to come to your own understanding about it. You have a choice. You can look at all, my God, y'all. We've all got defects. We've all got things we don't like about ourselves. But should we focus on those things? Or should we focus on all the good things that we have about ourselves? Or should we focus on those things that we want to make better by doing whatever we can that we know is doable to make it better, to be more healthy or whatever? We have a choice. All of us have a choice. But I'll tell you one damn thing right now. The hussy doesn't have a choice at this point. The only choice she has. And I don't see it happening. And I'll tell y'all, I'll confess it right here. I do pray that she comes to a place in her life where she has true remorse. And she falls down on her face and through truthful, remorseful, I don't see it happening, but I mean, I just pray that happens for her. So that somehow she can get saved from the fires of hell, because I'm telling you, that's where she's going. She's got hell on earth right now, you see. Hell on earth right now is man's law kicking in. Man's law is super, super cruel. It is. If you don't do anything wrong, you ain't got to worry about man's super cruel laws. But the bottom line is if she wants God's judgment, she better hope that judgment involves her one day confessing her sins and coming to some kind of spiritual acknowledgement of what she's done. Because God will. He will forgive her. But if she's not willing to do it, if she's too far gone, which I believe she is, honestly, y'all, this isn't me talking about this, just saying it. I believe she's demon possessed. And I don't think the demon's going to leave her. I just don't. She invited it in, and now it's there. It's not going to leave her. It's my opinion. Jewelbox News, if that's true, if Lori really thinks she's right with God, that she did what she was supposed to do, does anyone for a second think that she will ever come to that place where she will realize otherwise? If she's thinking that way because she can't bring herself, I believe the demon won't allow it. The demon's taking over, won't allow her to actually see the truth in it all. It's just a way for her to cope. And by the way, in terms of prison life, she might get to see a psychiatrist or somebody in there maybe once a month or whatever, or go to some kind of class where they sit in a circle and all that. But the bottom line is that she's not going to get high quality mental health care. She's going to get it, though. And that's, in some ways, you think about it, there are people out here that's never hurt a single person, that don't get health insurance, that don't have the money to go see a mental health professional. And she's going to have all this shit she's going to get it. And what did she have to do? She had to murder innocent life and get put in prison to get mental health care and health insurance. She had all that shit outside before she murdered them, because she had a child with disabilities. She had 2 children who were minors. She got the in-parent care payments, along with she got free medical, because that's the way it goes with the federal Medicaid system. I agree with that, Cresha. I do believe that she was taught a lot of things that were not real. But let me just say this. when I grew up and I was taught in the religion as being a Christian and being saved and all that, when I grew up, I absolutely was very self-aware enough to say to myself, I've got to reevaluate what I've been taught growing up. I've got to think about what it is that I believe and really know that this is something that I can continue in. Well, we've never seen any paperwork like we saw with Chad with her being asked to leave the church. So, I don't know how all that's going to work out. For all we know, she might still have her membership with the understanding that she's got mental health issues or something. And they're, trying to be compassionate. Who knows? I guess the question is wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we could hear, instead of hearing Adam Cox and Rex there do their podcasting book, wouldn't it be nice if we could actually hear what the bishop and Lori discuss? Lori talking to the bishop, I was hiding in the cleft of a rock. Yeah. Jewel Box News, we don't really know that to be true. We don't know that Lori didn't believe Summer when Summer says you're being deceived. Remember when Lori was told by Melanie Gibb, you play with all this junk and all this, which was crock, really. But she'd been told more than once after all this happened that she'd been deceived. And yes, it does look like she didn't want to believe them. She just didn't want to admit that they busted her ass for using religion as a reason to murder people. What other reason? What other reason could Lori and Chad give anybody, including themselves, for murdering these people so that they could get their money? Just to do it? Say, Lori and Chad, we got to kill these people. It's got nothing to do with the religion. We just want to do it. No, they had to use the cloak of this fanaticism. They had to give a reason, and then obviously, the reason had to be we're ridding the world. What they were doing was evil, diabolical, lying, total deception in order to accomplish what they wanted, and that was to get the money and to be together. Sam Willow, there are a lot of different religious leaders that visit prisons and stuff, and I'm all for that. I believe there's a lot of things in Holy Scripture talking about people being thrown in prison and all of that. I get that. But I'm going to tell you what, it would be really hard for me to believe that Lori or Chad, either one, could ever convince anybody that they're truly remorseful. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, I don't know what this Coffee with KJ was basically about this morning, other than to say that, yes, Lolo has turned 50. There's many of the demographic on here where we're 50 and older, or about to be, or whatever, which I'm very blessed to say. All the older women on here, including me, I'm an older woman. We're lucky as heck that we've got the wisdom and understanding, and yet we're willing to continue to learn whatever it is that we research, analyze. The bottom line is that it's not going to be a nice aging experience for the hussy. And I could have went into what's facing Chad there. Folks, you're not going to want to hear it, but we're adults here, and I've got this on adult setting. But you think about all the men in prison that's going to be masturbating. You think about that. Just think about that. Just stop and think about that. It's true. They're gonna be a nasty situation, y'all, and they're gonna live with it. So they can act like they're so pure and righteous and all they freaking want. They can act like they are better than everyone else, but when they're sitting their ass in the middle of a prison with a bunch of crazy ass people just like they are, they ain't gonna be able to distinguish themselves. If they try to say they're better than anyone else, they get their ass stomped. So, just something to think about as we near the weekend. Before I go, I wanted to ask the Rays on here if any of y'all... Oh, that's a great idea, Cresha. Cresha says, I was thinking about rolling through how Chad's case will look, like a mock trial of evidence we're aware of. What do y'all think? I think it's a great idea. We've got, y'all, it's going to go by quickly. We've got this July 31st thing coming up, which is going to be a big deal. As many of y'all know, KJ is sharing my life, my experiences, things like that until we can get through with all this. But we really need to focus on Cresha as well. She's got things she wants to share, which is absolutely the priority. Donna Donald says, let's do it. Sounds like a good idea, says Angela. Excellent idea, says Teresa. As many of y'all know, here in the last few weeks, I've been sharing unrelated stuff, just getting with all of y'all, keeping things moving forward. Jewelbox News, my views about Adam and Rex are my own. There are people on here that disagree with me, and that's okay. So just because I say what I say doesn't mean that's what everyone should be thinking. I totally, after all this time, people on here should understand by now that my opinions don't always line up with others. That's what I'm trying to do, Cresha, to keep everyone motivated to move forward, to get justice through understanding, to continue to be there for the victims' family members, to do what we can to be there for one another, y'all. There is no ulterior motive for OKJ other than that I love the Rays. I love each and every one of y'all. I've let you into my life. I'm going to be releasing probably some pre-records and live streams on all kinds of stuff that's got nothing to do with this. Just to keep us all, meshed together in a way so that we can know that we're there together. So, yeah, keeping it real, says Olive. United we stand, says Jet Say J. Yeah, Teresa. I appreciate all of y'all hanging out with me. So, tomorrow we start on a floating deck. And I know some of y'all are interested in this kind of stuff, but maybe you'll learn something. I'm going to do a little different stuff or whatever here on this channel to keep us moving forward. I did want to get with y'all over this unholy 50th birthday of the hussy and just kind of smooth things over a little bit on my end of things. Yes, Donna, we've never built a floating deck, and they're going around 2 trees, so it's going to be neat. And everybody, Cindy says, everyone have a great weekend. And I say, I agree with that, Cindy. Thank you, Sandra Jack, for being here. Jewelbox News, Nicole, Donna Donald, Cresha, you know I love you, girl. Anytime you need to contact me, get a hold of me. You've been sending texts to Wayne's phone and not mine. So I don't know how all that's going, but I love all of y'all. Sisters from Different Misters, says Olive. Miss T, thank you. And y'all, be sure to subscribe to Difficult Research with Cresha K. Easton. I love you all. Have a great weekend. Look for my pre-records. They might be more interesting than you realize. I love you all. God bless. Keep on looking.